We might have to pass here, but I think that we might have blown this duel. Yep, I think we blew it. Oh, I should have gone Abomination. Oh. Would Abomination have worked? Shoot. Oh my gosh, why didn't I just do Abomination? Okay, so is he just going to try to go to battle? I need my opponent to mess up harder than me. Yeah, actually I'm just going to kill my opponent this way because of Pareidolia. Peace, buddy. Okay, guys, so we are here on Master Duel doing a little bit of dueling. So let's check out the deck. So why are we here today? Because I believe that Evil Eye is the best deck to play if you are looking for a budget deck to be able to run on Master Duel. And by budget, I mean like free to play. If you guys are looking for a deck that's going to get you from like rookie to platinum and be able to pilot this deck, play it from rookie to platinum, and just try to use this to get to more gems so that you can get into like the bigger and better decks like Tearlaments. Or even right now, there's like the attribute event going on right now. So if you guys want to get your hands on like Virtual World, which I assume is going to be one of the best decks to play there, Evil Eye is going to be a great mid-range deck to be able to get yourself there. Not a lot of people are familiar with this deck. Is one of the biggest upsides to this deck because they just don't know how things work. If you guys just saw that duel that I just was playing, my opponent attacked into my field while I had the field spell Evil Eye Domain Pareidolia. And if you have this on the field, when your opponent attacks, if you have the equipped spell Selene or Gorgonio on the field, then your opponent actually takes damage with you. So you can sneak out some really funny wins that way. Also, this card is a searcher for your deck. And if it gets destroyed, it also searches you another card out of your graveyard, which is just awesome. Anyways, if you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe. If you guys are new here, I would really appreciate it. Consider checking out the Patreon if you guys want to get your hands on some extra content, extra pack openings, extra discussions, all that kind of stuff, and some vlog videos. As well as I just want to give a quick shout out to our two big sponsors, Mammoth Headwear. Go ahead and check them out in the description below, as well as my locals, Ecade, who is a big sponsor of the channel, which is just awesome. But yeah. Anyways, probably cards that you guys can't see because of my face being in the way. We have one copy of Abyss Dweller in the extra deck, and then the other card that you guys can't see behind my face is the Zerzeal. But let's get on into the card by card. So we were playing 3 copies of Maxi. Maxi is actually really nice in this deck because with Maxi, you're able to just be able to get into more resources. And then with the Gorgonio, with this card, if your life points are lower than your opponent and you then your monster gains attack equal to the difference. So if your opponent is at 8,000 life points and you're at 100 life points, then your monster is going to gain 7,900 attack. And so this card, along with Maxi, can run into some really great comebacks. So that's why it's really great. We're not playing other cards like Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler in here, but we are playing Imperm as our hand trap of choice along with Maxi. If you did want to drop a couple cards to be able to fit in more hand traps so that like your Maxi gets a little bit more value, you could put in Nibiru, Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, and take out the Trap Trick and the Ice Dragon's Prison. These cards are maybe a little bit outdated for this deck, but overall I still really like having Trap Trick to be able to search for your Imperm, your Evil Eye Defeat, or your Ice Dragon's Prison. So anyways, like I was saying, this is, in my opinion, one of the best decks. This deck just took me from being a rookie tier because I have not been playing this game very much lately. So I was bottom rookie tier, and I got up to platinum level 5 within about 1 or 2 days by just sort of casually playing. But anyways, that's Maxi. We're playing 1 copy of Katablapass because with this card you can target an Evil Eye spell or trap you control until the end of the next turn. It can't be destroyed by card effects. That's an okay effect, but the other effect of this card allows you to bring it back from the graveyard if you have an Evil Eye monster on the field. There is an upgraded version of this card that just came out in Photon Hypernova, along with the spell card that came out just a while ago. But overall, this older version of the card is still really, really good. Then we have the Basilius. This card is a Foolish Burial Goods for the deck. and it can special summon itself onto the field. We have 3 copies of Surzeal. He is the Stratos. He is the heart and soul of the deck. We have 1 copy of Medusa. She is okay, but she can also lead to really great comeback wins with that with the Gorgoneo. So if you have Max C goes off, your opponent starts comboing, and then they get your life points down pretty far. Then you're going to be able to hopefully get Medusa, or and then also if you have Gorgoneo in your graveyard, you can then summon Medusa during your next turn, and then that's going to allow you to add any Evil Eye card from your graveyard back to your hand. So then you can add Gorgoneo, gain that life point difference, and then just bash into your opponent. And then also with like the Surzeal and the Medusa, they each have their own effects if they are equipped with the equip spells. So with Surzeal, he allows you to pop 1 special summon monster that your opponent controls, and then with Medusa, she's going to allow you to get a card, or she's going to allow you to banish a card from your opponent's graveyard, a monster from your opponent's graveyard. But overall, it's still pretty darn good. They also have their own maintenance costs during the standby phase. After they activate their effects, Surzeal is going to destroy a card you control, which can be good if you have the Pareidolia on your field to be able to pop it, and then you get to add an Evil Eye monster back from your graveyard to your hand. For the field spell, we also have a Terraforming. We have 3 copies of Pot of Duality, or 2 copies of Duality, 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. These cards are just really crucial to the deck to be able to draw and find your Surzeal. So you basically have 5 ways to search deeper for Surzeal here. You have your 3 copies of Surzeal, and then you have your 4 field spells, basically. So, like, you are almost always guaranteed to see Surzeal in your opening hand. We have 1 copy of Evil Eye Awakening to special summon a monster from graveyard or hand, but if you have the equip spell on the field, it gets a bonus effect where you can instead special summon from the deck. A lot of these cards get bonus effects depending on whether or not you have the equip spell on the field, and Gorgoneo also treats itself as Evil Eye of Selene while on the field. You also have your 1 copy of Evil Eye Remergence. This card is going to allow you to special summon out 2 tokens if you have the equip spell on the field. It seems a little bit like underpowered here because it's like, are you really trying to link climb with this deck? We just said that we don't need to special summon, which is why we're playing Pot of Duality. But you can lead to some really great OTK plays with specifically this card and with your Evil Eye Awakening, either or. But as I was saying, or actually what I should say is that with the Evil Eye of Selene, every time you activate a spell card, an Evil Eye spell or trap card, or you activate your equipped monster's effect, you pay 500 life points, and then your equipped monster goes up by 500 attack. And then also this card can add itself, or set this card back to your field if you have you banish a Evil Eye spell or trap card from your graveyard. You set this card to your field, and that takes 1,000 life points to activate that effect. The reason why these 3 cards matter is because you can summon Surzeal, equip it with the Evil Eye of Selene, use its effect to pop one of your opponent's special summon monsters, activate your Remergence, and then that is going to boost your Surzeal up to 2,600 attack points and give you 2 tokens, and then which is 3 link materials because you have your Surzeal on the field. And then with that, you can go into your Zerzeal because he takes 2 plus Evil Eye monsters, and then he also if you summon him with a monster with 2,600 or higher attack as his link material, then you're able to make a second attack during the battle phase, which is just insane. And then also if he's equipped with the equip spell, he can pop 1 card on the field and destroy it, which is just insane. It's just so good. So he can lead to some really great OTKs because then you can pop a card after you equip him with the new Selene that you set back to the field. Then he's going to be at 3,100 attack, and he can attack twice. So if you activate any other Evil Eye cards and stuff, he can just go up higher and higher. If you have a Gorgoneo, he is guaranteed to be like 4,000 attack, and then you can just go ahead and beat into your opponent for their full life points. So we have Gorgoneo. Gorgoneo also, when it's in the graveyard, like I was saying, can banish itself from the graveyard by discarding a Evil Eye card, and then add another Evil Eye spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is how you can get into the field spell. So there are certain applications with having Twin Twisters in the deck, where sometimes your opponent maybe has a set card and you didn't draw into Surzeal, but you have a Twin Twisters and an Evil Eye card. You can set a Gorgoneo to activate Twin Twisters, pop one of your opponent's cards, pop your Gorgoneo, use Gorgoneo to discard, search, get Surzeal, summon out Surzeal, and then you're off to the races and comboing right there, and you have a little bit of graveyard setup. It's not the best play, but it can work. We also have our 1 copy of Repose, which is basically an upstart goblin for the deck, but also if you go up against a deck that has an unbeatable boss monster like a Dragoon or something that can't be targeted, can't be destroyed by card effects, you can just bash into it while you have the equip spell on the field. And then if your monster that battles with the equipped spell on it, you can banish that opponent's monster after damage calculation, which is just awesome. We have our 1 copy of Confrontation, which is just a searchable MST for the deck, but it can banish the card if you have the equipped spell on the field. 3 copies of Imperm because it's searchable by your Trap Trick. We have our 2 copies of Evil Eye of Defeat, which is a double compulse if you have the equip spell. We have our 2 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison just because it's really nice. It's pretty decent against tier to be able to banish 2 of the Aquas or something unless they have specifically Crime that they're going to mill to be able to add stuff back, but it can definitely interrupt some plays, especially if they get like a big mill off of like an Agito or a Kelbeck. 1 copy of Solemn Judgment, and then 2 copies of Evil Eye Retribution, which are also basically Solemn Judgment, because with this card, if your opponent activates a spell or trap card, while you have an Evil Eye monster on the field, you can negate the activation, and if you have, and destroy it, and if you have the equip spell on the field, you're then able to, your opponent cannot, like, negate this card's activation, so it almost goes to spell speed 4, basically. But basically, these 3 cards are in here to make sure that you can always negate, if your opponent's going to go for a Harpy's Feather Duster, a Lightning Storm, Dark Ruler No More to like negate all of your stuff, whatever it's going to be. This is what's really going to take you there. And then I also, just one thing that I just realized I never mentioned about the equip spell is that with this card, while it's equipped to your monster, that monster can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effects, and can't be targeted. So, like I was saying with Repose, to be able to get around stuff like Dragoon, basically every time you get Surzeal on the field with your Evil Eye of Selene, it becomes Dragoon. It's not targetable, can't be destroyed by card effects, and it can't be destroyed by battle, so it's even like better than Dragoon in that sense. So overall, you guys can kind of probably see the application why this is such a good going first deck, but also if your opponent's not familiar with how this deck plays, it can make really great swings going second. In the extra deck, we have 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, just because if we're going against tier, if you can get out Surzeal and then you have like Medusa or another Surzeal in hand, you can always activate Evil Eye Awakening to special summon that, and then just go for Abyss Dweller against tier to shut them down. We have 1 copy of Baguska, just in case, again, like if your opponent starts hand trapping you and stuff, and this is just the best route to go. It's rarely going to happen, but it's there. 1 copy of Nightmare Cerberus, 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix, and then 1 copy of Unicorn, Masquerena. We have 1 copy of Dark, and then getting on into the Evil Eye cards, we have the Evil Eye Gorgon, Empress of the Evil Eye. She is insane for the deck. She is basically, I mean, she's kind of like the Baron de Fleur of the deck in a way, but she's, I'm just trying to think of what is an equivalent to her, or maybe she's like the Appaloosa of the deck. But basically, gains 100 attack for every Evil Eye card with different names in your graveyard, so it can get up to relatively like decently high, like 2300 attack without the equip spell on it. And then it's an Imperm for the deck, so you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effect. And then if you have the equip, and that's if you have the equip spell on this card. So then with the equip spell, then this is going to go up to like it's automatically going to be a 2400 attack monster because it's going to get that 500 attack boost. And then also, you're going to have at least 2 cards in the graveyard for its link material, so then again, you're going to be substantially higher. And then also, during the standby phase, after you activate her effect, she also has the maintenance cost, which actually is very applicable. She's probably the one that helps you the most. You can destroy 1 monster that she points to, so if your opponent has a huge board, you go into battle phase, you attack into whatever she's not pointing to, and then during the next standby phase, like if they have like a Baguska or something that's like sitting there, that's going to really like hurt your turn or something, then you can go ahead and use her effect. As long as she's pointing to that Baguska or whatever the monster is, she can pop that. Then next we have our Surzeal. Like we mentioned, he can attack twice per battle phase if the monster summoned for him has 2600 attack or higher. And then also, quick effect, target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. That's if it has the equip spell on it. And then also, it can, during the next standby phase, for its maintenance cost, it can negate the effect of 1 effect monster this card points to. So also, there's some application to where you could be pointing to something. Then lastly, we have 1 copy of Unchained Abomination and 1 copy of Underworld Goddess just to close out the 15-card extra deck. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the profile part. Let's get on into some duels. Okay, so we got the coin flip. We're gonna be going first here, so let's see what we can do, guys. So hopefully we'll have a good example where we go second and we can crush our opponents. But for now, oh, that's a good hand right there. So we got Pot of Extravagance, which will hopefully bait out a little bit of stuff from our opponent as far as hand traps, if they have any. So let's go Pot of Extravagance. We're going to go 6 cards, obviously. And then we're going to see if we can just draw. That was kind of a rough one because that's Basilius is probably what I would have added with the Surzeal. But we're going to then go ahead and activate the Pareidolia. Or it's what I would have added from Pareidolia. We could add Catoblepas and then just try to find a way to discard him later. We'll activate Pot of. Well, do we want to activate Pot of Duality? I think we do want to activate Pot of Duality just so we can find a better option for our end board here. So we have another. There we go. Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment is all we needed to find right there. So now we can't special summon. So we have a lot of setup for our following turn, though, where we will close out the game because we have Basilius and Catoblepas. So now we're going to use Surzeal. Surzeal, because we already have... So every turn, this is the most important thing I'm going to say. Stop what you're doing and listen to this. Every turn you need to end with Evil Eye of Selene and a Solemn Judgment or an Evil Eye Retribution on your side of the field. Because we already have those, we're going to add Evil Eye Defeat. Now we have four modes of interruption on our opponent. So the interruption, I should have actually put imperm in the middle there, but the 4 sources of interruption that we have here is that we have almost 5 in a way because Evil Eye Defeat is going to bounce 2 cards, but we have Evil Eye Defeat, which is going to bounce 2 cards, 2 monsters. We have, is it cards? Monsters, okay. Then we have our Infinite Impermanence for negation on a monster. We have our Surzeal, and then we also have our Solemn Judgment. Our opponent didn't lead with a Lightning Storm or a Duster, so I'm considering it, but I think we want to hold off on the Solemn Judgment there. I think that we can. So add in so this guy's adding Assault Mode Activate. That's fine. I don't care about that. You can go ahead and activate Assault Mode add an Assault Mode Activate monster. Okay, that's fine. So now he's gonna discard, add an Assault Mode Activate. That's fine. I don't care about that. Reveal 1 target monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. I probably should have just negated all of his effects. Okay. Not a big deal, though. I'm not too worried. So far, we haven't used any interruption, which is a little bit scary. We've kind of we've given him an inch there. Hopefully, he doesn't take a mile. Oh, and then he's going to go Chaos Ruler. That's going to get hit by Solemn, for sure. Yup. Set Assault Mode Activate and pass. Okay, he's going to go for the Instant Fusion. What can he do with Instant Fusion? He's going to go Kitkalos? Yeah. This guy's rocking a Kitkalos. We might Imperm here, and then we can always Evil Eye of Defeat as well, which would be kind of funny. So I think that's the play is to go Infinite Impermanence. He still isn't normal summoned, which is kind of scary. Okay, so at least she's negated. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now at least we have a good we'll have a second target to hit with Evil Eye Defeat. And the only thing that he can target is going to be my equip spell. Why is this guy playing Assault Mode Activate? I can't think of any 2 cards like in the game right now to hit with this card better than Evil Eye Defeat. So yeah, defeat's gonna bounce these 2. Oh, I guess. So wait, was I supposed to wait for him? Oh, shoot. Oh, then he can just pop his Kit Kolos. That's bad. That's really bad. I definitely misplayed that. He played that really well. I thought he was going to get rid of my Celine. So we milled a Merly there. Oh, and yep. So now he's going to get a trap. Okay, so we're not out of the water yet. The good thing here is that we're going to have definite setup. Oh, oh, what? He didn't. Could he not fuse? Okay, so yeah, we might win this because he doesn't have. Okay, yeah, so he's going to get that. Do we want to go Surzeal just to proc his effect? So if we go Surzeal, he can't target my guy. So he's probably going to pop his own like Sulliek so he can add a Havness. I think we're going to skip it. We're not going to activate him. Nope. We're going to use Terraforming, see if we can get ourselves another Surzeal yet. But do we just want to see what the heck this guy does? Maybe it is worth it to... Because if we proc this and he doesn't have a follow-up, we can easily OTK here. We're gonna try it. So he's going to go for it. Is he going to pop one of his own cards? If he pops our Celine, we don't care. He's popping himself and Celine. Okay, yep. He pops Celine. That is fine with me. Okay, so we're going to activate Celine's graveyard effect to put it back to the field. Then we activate Paradolia. We're going to add another Surzeal, because Surzeal can then search for our big card. Just don't have Havness. Don't have Havness. Okay. So Surzeal's going to add Gorgonio, and that's basically the game. The trick is just to not take too much life point damage here. We're going to search for another Celine by pitching a Gorgonio, and then Gorgonio is going to... we're going to pitch Catoblepass. And then Catoblepass can special summon himself back from the graveyard, which is going to be crazy. Yeah, we're going to get Celine there. This is going to be summon number 4 when we actually go into Surzeal. So unfortunately, Surzeal isn't going to be able to attack twice. Maybe we just go... We can get more damage, actually, if we just go for Gorgonio, because we're not going to be able to attack twice. And I would rather have Gorgonio, because she's going to be able to get a monster negate effect on board, and that's actually more important to us. And this could just be the game right here. This is how this deck is so good and so crafty at sneaking wins. So we're going to activate Celine, equip it back onto our Surzeal here. That's costing us that, and then... Oh my gosh, we're going to gain so much attack here. Ooh. And that is a rough start, is what we call it in the show business. We have to start off with a Basilius. I mean, depending on what our opponent is running, there's still a lot that we can do with this. Yeah, he's going to go max C. Guess what? We ain't special summoning shit, so that's fine. We're just going to set up our graveyard with a Gorgoneo. That way, on our next turn, I guess could have done this so we could have boosted him a little bit more. That's stupid of me. Gorgoneo, is it worth it? What would we even do? So we would like pitch we would use Gorgoneo to pitch, and yeah, we're basically just gonna set all of these. We have 3 points of interruption, so like this is such a bad end, but our Basilius is indestructible, and basically we can still bounce 2 cards. We can negate any spell or trap, and we have a trap trick to get us into an imperm. Yeah, we're gonna let our opponent take that, but if it's the tier field spell, then we're probably gonna have to negate the activation. Yes, it is. He's not activating a heavy or a feather duster or anything right now, so I'm assuming that we can probably go for our retribution on this. So retribution, yes, we're gonna activate that. And hopefully just all of our other points of interruption here is going to be enough to basically let us hang strong. Yeah. Our other option is to, depending on what our opponent summons out, is to use Evil Eye of Defeat to try to bounce back our Basilius so that we can discard it next turn for our equip spell Gorgoneo. So we'll see what happens. Oh, he's just gonna set. Okay, so tier can't handle the 1 interruption. And what we're gonna do? So this isn't a great example because obviously our opponent's not comboing too hard. But this is not a great example of a regular duel. But this is a great example of why Evil Eye Defeat is so nice, because now we can activate it to add these cards back to our hand. What would our opponent... Oh, Max C again, dude? I'm not going to be special summoning. Read the cards. So yeah, we are basically just adding these all back to the hand. That way next turn I can actually use Basilius to discard to be able to get our field spell. Okay, so it worked out in our favor. I mean, we could have waited until our turn started too. So we're going to go Gorgoneo, activate this, discard Basilius. We don't need him anymore. Add our field spell. Activate the field spell. Adding Surzeal is going to be our next play. Summon Surzeal, activate his effect, and Surzeal, we can get to we have the equip spell Engrave, so now it's really a question of how do we kill the opponent. If we add Remergence, we get kind of close. Yes. We're adding Remergence. But, ooh. Yeah, so we're going to go Selene. Banish Defeat. Set the equip spell. And then here's the question is, what do we do with Selene? So Selene, we activate it now. Yeah, we have to go on to Surzeal. It's the only way we can... I mean... I think we get 2... We can get 2 tokens this way. I think that still, with how Tier Limit works with cards getting sent to the graveyard and getting just like destroyed by card effects and stuff, or getting sent to the graveyard by card effects, I think that Gorgoneo is still the better monster to have with the equip spell, but unfortunately we just can't get there this turn. But we're still going to have 3 sources of interruption on our opponent's turn, so I think it'll still be good. So, oh, okay, so the opponent quit. But basically what we have going on here is that we had Imperm, and we also had an Ice Dragon's Prison, so I think that kind of shows a little bit of what the deck could do. Definitely like using that trick with your Evil Eye Defeat along with your monster on field to bounce it back to hand is really nice. It's a nice play to use with Surzeal as well if you just want to normal summon him again, because his effect only goes on normal summon, so you can always do that to add him back to hand, and that's just a really smart play. Add him back to hand so that you can normal summon him again, as long as you don't need him for your normal summon that turn. Okay, so this is another fairly nice hand because we can thin the deck out a little bit. We're going to start by activating Pareidolia. All of these cards we're going to be able to put to use essentially this turn. Evil Eye Defeat will set during the turn, but the extra Evil Eye Domain Pareidolia, we're even going to use that card. And this is something that I probably should have... Oh yeah, it doesn't matter really what we do. So we're going to add Selene. We're going to Special Basilius. So we're trying to thin the deck as much as possible. That way we can find the cards that we need. So we're going to go with him. This is a standard opening play. You want to open with these cards that we had actually is a great opening because they can get you to your two key cards. We're not using Selene yet. So, what I was saying, though, I was misspeaking because, I forgot that Pot of Duality. We can't special summon on the same turn. So, what we're going for, though, is still what we want. So, we're going to go for Selene. We're going to put Selene on here. And then the fact that we had access to Basilius to dump Gorgonio now means that we get to pitch our extra copy of Pareidolia into the graveyard, which actually makes our Gorgonio stronger, and now we get to search for our counter trap. And now, so we're going to have the counter trap, we're going to have defeat, and then we're also going to have an interruption by Gorgonio. And then we have follow-up with Pot of Duality. This is essentially an unbreakable board. Your opponent could always kaiju you and all that stuff, but basically we have Gorgonio going to be able to negate a monster effect. So probably negating a Stratos is the smartest play we can go for. I think that's what we'll do because Stratos will just get the rest of the combos going, so we'll negate there. So there's our one interruption. We always have defeat if they go into the link monsters or anything, and then we have retribution in case they would go for just a generic polarization or whatever it's going to be. Okay, so what do we got here? EN Shuffle hero you control into the deck, special summon a hero with a different name. So it sounds like that's kind of what he wants to do, is to go for another Stratos, and then he'd be able to use that Stratos' effect. So this is where we're going to go Retribution. Our opponent didn't lead with a Feather Duster or a Lightning Storm or anything like that. So we're not afraid of those board breakers anymore. Now we're just kind of using the Retribution to negate anything else that they're tossing at us. He used his normal summon. Is that no, that's not another copy of the same card. Special summon a fusion. List 2 monsters as material. Hand, deck, field, ignore. Okay. Okay, so we got a Brave Neos. And so when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, add a spell trap from deck. Okay, so this guy's just going to go for a battle trick. That's fine with me. We can always bounce. And we're stronger than his monsters will be in battle, so that's also fine. He's going for a set. Maybe he doesn't have too much else going on here. Might have been putting an Imperm in the same column as Selene. We might as well go for defeat since he's ending his turn. Defeat's just going to be able to bounce these cards back to the hand. Bouncing Stratos doesn't sound the best. Yeah, we're going to still bounce Stratos. Because we can possibly just OTK next turn. We're going to go for it and hope we can OTK here. Paradolia, that's perfect. That's what we want. So we'll see what our opponent all has for disruptions here. Like, if my opponent's just got imperms, did he use an imperm before? No, he didn't. He only has one card in his graveyard. If our opponent just has imperms, they don't work on our monster because he can't be she can't be targeted, but our Surzeal that we'll summon will be able to be targeted. Okay, that's fine. Ash Blossom, we don't care about that at this point. We do have a negate for his Stratos next turn, so that's also why we don't care about bouncing it. We do still get the activation for our Selene to boost our monster up. Now we're just going to go Pot of Duality and see what we can get. Judgment, Imperm, Imperm. That's hard. These all suck. Might as well just go... Gosh, we might go Judgment. We already have an Imperm on the field, so let's go Judgment. Okay, so we can't close the game out, but we're over halfway there. Main 2, we'll set a mystery card and pass. So our opponent's got 6 cards to our 2 interruptions, which is not good. But we'll see if we can hold on to our board state here. The scary thing is if he's got Super Poly. If he's got Super Poly on board, we just need to keep him off of getting into a dark monster. So we're going to go for our negate here. Yep. One thing that we... Okay, so he's just going to go end phase. I am cool with that. Gosh, another Imperm? What the heck? So now, so this is a good instance of her maintenance cost. He summoned to the zone that she points to, so she just gets to pop the Stratos, which is really funny. So just it's a mandatory effect as well. So she just mandatory effect pops him, and then that also costs us 500 life points. Okay. Right on. Go for it. So here's a fairly decent example, though. As long as I don't think that our opponent can really win from this point anymore, so we just go battle phase and win. And basically it's as simple as we had really simple negations and pieces for interaction. Special summon a monster. Yeah, guess what? That's getting Solemn Judgmented. But yeah, super simple pieces of interaction and negation, disruption, and it ultimately just kind of leads to a victory with this deck. And our opponent's playing a suboptimal hero build. That's a win, baby. No, we're not. I forgot because we activated Selene, so we're good. We're good. We got the damage. With 2 maxis in hand. We're just too good. Level up. Okay, guys, we are going to try to get a duel going second here. Nice. Okay, so we got the coin toss. We're going to give ourselves a handicap here, and we're going to go second. We're going to see what this deck can do going second. We've had a couple duels now. We were just going up against Cyber Dragons going second, and they really didn't do anything. He didn't seem like he was playing a very good build, but this is a fairly bad hand. It's not great. It's not bad. We only have one trap card, which is good for if we're going second. Wait. Didn't I hit going second? No, yeah, it's turn 2. What? Our opponent just passed? Okay, well, let's see if our opponent's playing like hand trap deck or something. And let's see if we can break through their impeccable board here. We're at platinum level 5. Why are we... I'm struggling to find really good duelists. It's like the second that you start streaming, people start playing horrible decks. Or they start playing decks that are too good and you can't like beat them at all. What do we want to add here? What do we want to... Oh, so we already have Remergence. That's really good, actually. I think we go for Basilius, to be honest. If we Basilius here, if everything goes right, we could potentially OTK. We would be OTKing if any of these other Evil Eye cards in our hand, besides Remergence, was a... if either of those cards was in fact... No. What am I doing? We want to activate his effect. If any of these cards would have been another copy of Selene, we would have been golden. But we're going to pitch Gorgoneo. We're going to see if we can just get the OTK right here. Now we're going to go for it. So we got Gorgon. Max C. Well, guess what, buddy? I'm already done special summoning, pretty much. We're going to go Gorgoneo, because we need to get to a copy of Selene as quick as we can here. We're going to pitch the Catablepass. Yeah, because we already normal summon. So we pitch Catablepass, and then we can special him later. So we are actually probably going to do a little bit of special summoning. But that's with the goal to OTK our opponent here. So we will activate Selene, equip to Gorgoneo, or Gorgon. We will special Catablepass. So our opponent's basically going to draw 3 here off of the Max C. Can you activate? Yeah, you can only use 1 Max C per turn. He also could Nibiru us, but we're just going to... So that's 4 summons. But we have the chance to OTK, so we're going to go for it. This is how we end the video today. We're going to OTK with Evil Eye going second. So now our opponent, unless they have specifically Nibiru, isn't really liable to hand trap us. Shoot. Hold on a second. Got to do a little bit of math here. Yeah, so we got to go this way. So we're going to go Zerziel. So he's actually going to get another draw yet. So Zerziel is going to go here. As long as our opponent does nothing, we've won. Just don't have Nibiru. Yeah, so we're going to activate this. Which is nice that we had the Retribution. Retribution has been coming up so much, and like I was explaining it during the profile, which was awesome, that it's been being utilized this much. And now, luckily with Extravagance, we still have one more copy of Gorgoneo, or of Gorgon. So with Gorgon, it had 2600 attack when we used her. We are going to equip onto Gorgon the Selene as well as the Gorgoneo. So now he's going to basically gain 1000 attack because he can attack twice in this battle phase. And he gains the difference in our life points. We're down by 2000. Oh, and he's got... So he's got the Gizmek, but we can actually activate Perfect. We can activate Zerziel's effect to destroy. And now we're going to go up and OTK with both of their attacks. And that's how Evil Eye wins, going second. Anyways, guys, thank you guys again so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Mainly, I wanted to get this deck profile to you guys. I haven't done really, I think, any Master Duel deck profiles, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I really appreciate it. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Definitely check out the Patreon if you guys want to support the channel, or if you guys want to check out other means to support the channel, you guys can check out my sponsors, which is going to be ECade as well as Mammoth Headwear. If you guys want to check out some sweet deals on Mammoth or on some hats, go ahead and check out Mammoth Headwear, and we will see you guys for the next video. Peace.